Hi, today I want to show you a tutorial on kind of a frost look, something Halloween inspired. I'm going to give you a little preview of some of the stuff I have laid out here. Nothing I have is really expensive or fancy, so hopefully anybody could do this with anything they have at home. Alright, basically I have my paper plate, of course. I have eyelash adhesive, which, you know, I've put a little bit on my plate here. I also have 3 different colors of Halloween makeup out. I have white, silver, and blue, which those tubes are, you know, $2 at the Halloween store. Perfect time to get them. They last forever. I also have, I'm going to use some of this silver, and then I have a couple shades of blue. I've got a tube of some white powdered shadow, some craft glitter. If you don't have eyelash adhesive, you could also use school glue. Just kind of using it a little bit for the effect. If you plan on getting any of this off, I would suggest some makeup remover. That is probably the most expensive thing I have here is my Mary Kay oil-free eye makeup remover. It's fantastic. You know, I have various brushes and sponges and all kinds of stuff set out here. So we're gonna get started. And forgive me for my camera work. I haven't done many of these videos yet. What I want to start with right now is taking a small brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of this adhesive to kind of get a little bit of texture. You don't have to use it everywhere. Just kind of give yourself a little bit here and there, because once it starts to dry, you can kind of play with it and lump it up a little bit, and it has a cool effect. Now we have this wonderful sticky stuff all over. I'm going to take my white Halloween makeup and blend it a little bit with some silver. And then I'm also going to pull in a tiny bit of the blue. Obviously, mostly is going to be white here. We're just going to start with a patting. And as you can see, I'm just patting all the way into my hairline. I mean, you could do as much of your face as you were going to have showing. You could even go onto your neck and, you know, play around with it. But what I'm doing here is just starting out at the top and stippling down into the rest of my skin a little. It's totally fine if it's not perfect. Just we're gonna do a couple layers with different colors to play. Alright. I'm gonna go in with pretty much just mostly a white. And you want to be able to go kind of spongy on it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting mine on a little round sponge I have here, and I just want to pat it in a little bit just to pull some of the color from my skin, because we want to look really frosty. And you know, play with the colors. You can go much more dramatic or much less dramatic, obviously. I'm going to start here, and I might build up, and you know, I tend to get darker as I go. So I'm just going to pat this white around. And as you can see, you have to be careful with the Halloween makeup because it does get clumpy and gross if you go too heavy. Alright, so I'm continuing to do my white. Like I said, you know, don't go crazy. Don't need anything real heavy. You just want to pat it in so that we lose that skin tone. So now we have this kind of base white with a little bit of blue peeking out around the edges of my hairline. I'm going to go back in and take my silver and just touch that in here and there to get a little bit more. And it's okay if colors get mixed or you end up with darker spots. It's just fun, that's all. Just turn your sponge here and there, back and forth. You know, it can be patted down. You know, I actually pulled some of my blue into this, and I like the effect it gives. Like I said, just keep turning and rotating, and the colors will pull themselves in real nicely. So right now we have this basic thing going here. And now what I want to do is do a little focus on my eyebrows. What I'm doing here is I got my finger in some of the white, and I'm just going to pat into my eyebrows here. And hopefully you can get kind of a good idea of what's going on here. Lighting in here is not the best, so we'll see how this turns out. Now that I have this blue around the edges, I'm going to go back in and just touch in some white. So now from here I'm going to take, I have a mascara that has the volumizing stuff that really is just supposed to be kind of a before thing. I'm kind of gonna just do that as my mascara. You know, and I'm not going to put a lot of
fancy makeup on. I'm gonna brush this on first. Heavy, clumpy, you know, just go crazy with it. If you don't have anything like this, you really can accomplish the same effect with using a regular mascara and then maybe taking the Halloween makeup or a powdered shadow and just dabbing it on with your fingers, you know, maybe with a pinching motion onto the eyelashes, which I'm still gonna do some of that also, but this is just gonna give me the length without me having to apply all that dark black that I'm gonna have to try to cover. I never thought this stuff would be useful. Alright, so I have that on my eyelashes, and what I'm going to do now is take, I have some powdered white, and I'm just going to rub it into my eyelashes. You know, I'm lucky enough to have one that has a little brush attached to it. Makes it a little easier to just kind of touch that on. So you get those really frosty looking eyelashes. And you want to do it while they're still a little wet from the mascara because you want it to stick. Underneath my eye, just a little frostiness. And maybe a little over. Alright, so we have a little bit of that going. I'm going to take some more of my white Halloween makeup and just touch the edges of my eyelashes and spots so that I can get it to stick to the ends. See, I told you you're going to need eye makeup remover after all this. If you can get those bottom ones a little bit, that's good too. So right now I have my cold and frozen eyelashes going here. I'm going to touch around the bottom of my nose because pretty sure your nose would be one of the first places to show some signs of freezing. Now we're going to touch on the lips a little bit. I'm going to take my white Halloween makeup, just a little, because this stuff can get really kind of awful if you go crazy with it. And my lips are a little on the chapped side due to the wonderful cold that we're getting. So I'm just taking a chapstick and I'm going to blot that in. It's okay. Color's only going to stick better. So I have this little bit of white going. And what I want to do is get kind of the blue to start on the edges. So I'm going to use some of my powdered shadows to do this, and you know, I'm just going to do it as carefully as I can here with my finger around the edges, and we're going to kind of just blend it in. And I'm going to use a couple different blues just to get the effects of the different color here. Alright, so we have a little bit of blue, and you know what else I want to do is just kind of bring it down outside of my actual lip line. Because that's okay. It's okay to go a little crazy here. There's a darker one. I'll pull that in. I'm going to take my silver, kind of blot myself some silver in here. And then I want to take, I'm going to take a little bit of my silver powdered shadow and blend it in with a little bit of my white Halloween makeup here. And I'm going to dab that in. So we've got these really cold frozen lips now too. You know, you can continue blending down, pulling more of the color in. I want to do a little bit of some blue closer to my eyes here. I'm just gonna sweep it in a little bit. So I'm liking the way this looks. You know, it's really just to just keep going crazy and adding more in. You know, you want it to look like maybe there's a little bit of kind of snow on you. Just dab in that white, and you know, you can go heavier on that wherever, just to get that effect of like and this cream Halloween makeup works great because it leaves that little bump when you just tap it on.